Welcome to the Michael Dresser Show. Now, step into the realm of clarity with your host, Michael Dresser.
I'm Michael Ray Dresser. You're listening to thought-provoking talk on Dresser After Dark, and each night we'll bring you the best and the brightest authors and experts with solutions, the topics you want to hear, and the people who know to bring them to you. So let's do it together. Let's get to the heart of the issues that face us every day, right here, right now, on Dresser After Dark, coast to coast and around the world. Tom Harpointner with us. He's a seasoned business executive with over 20 years of sales, marketing, and management experience. He's a speaker, and he's an author, he's a business strategist, and he's a successful entrepreneur. And in 1997, Thomas co-founded AIS Media, Inc., and today, an award-winning interactive media and web service company, and he serves as chairman and CEO. Under his leadership, the company has emerged as a recognized leader in its field, serving hundreds of business clients worldwide, ranging from small business retailers to Fortune 500 companies. And let us say, Thomas, hi, welcome to the show.
Oh, my pleasure to be on the show, Mike.
Oh, and thank you so much for being here. Let me ask you this, and let's lay a basis for where we're going to go with this. There is something called interactive marketing. Let's lay a base and say, what is that, and then we'll build from there.
Well, you're right. We started in this space back in 1997, and of course, everything at that point was known as internet marketing.
Yes.
Today it's referred to as interactive marketing because it's the kind of marketing where it's not a one-way dialogue. It's a conversation. Customers can talk back to you, unlike television, which is one way.
Sure.
The internet, people can have conversations. Companies can actually have a dialogue with their customers. So it opens a whole new world of opportunity.
Now, by the way, it opens a world of opportunity, but when you say pitfalls, and you've said pitfalls that businesses can fall into, there's a tremendous amount if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the roadmap to get there. People do not like being sold anymore. It just, we've got Google. We can Google anything. We can make our choices, but we still, Thomas, we love to buy. And I think that's where the key is. If it's framed properly, you've got your customers. But if you get businesses in that don't quite understand interactive marketing, they're going to lose that return of investment that they could have had.
That's absolutely right. Today the internet is a whole lot more complex than it was 10 years ago. Websites really were just online brochures when we all got involved with the internet. Today, websites are a lot more complex. They're really business systems that can work for you. People can shop online, they can buy, they can communicate, they can collaborate. But for a business, it is a much bigger endeavor that they have to be prepared, to engage with. If a company still looks at a website as a brochure, not only are they going to get left behind, and it's also going to hurt their image, based on who their customers are. Because if a competitor has a fully interactive website and they're doing social media, they're sending out email newsletters, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, and all you have is an online brochure.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt your image pretty bad. So, a big mistake that a lot of companies make is they'll hire a website designer and then blame the designer if he doesn't deliver an interactive marketing strategy or business strategy. Designers design. They didn't go to business or marketing school. So the internet's a little more sophisticated today, and it does involve a set of experts in order to get it right.
Okay, but let's take this a step farther, Thomas. When we talk about this, and obviously it makes sense, it's got to be one of the vehicles that a business uses today if they want to stay competitive in the marketplace, and not necessarily price competitive, but just competitive as a business in and of itself. How many people actually understand and know there is such a thing as interactive marketing?
I think by name, a lot of people don't understand really what that means. But to ask the general public, hey, do you research products online before you buy them? Do you research a house, a car, even a camera before you buy it? I think we'll find that most people do use the internet to do their research before they make important purchases these days. And that does involve, that's a portion of interactive marketing, right? People go to search engines. They perform searches, and they read ratings and reviews about what other consumers have written about a product. And, if your company isn't found or if you have a bad review, it's going to hurt your sales. There's just no question about it. If you ask consumers, how many people shop online? You know, have you ever bought a book from Amazon? Have you ever ordered anything from the internet and had it delivered to your front door? I think today we'll find that the majority of consumers have. So for a company that if they own a retail store and don't give customers the option of making purchases online, they're going to be left behind. So all of that could be, could fall under the interactive marketing umbrella. But at the end of the day, it's really about, a fully functional business on the internet. On the internet, a website is your company. It, represents your brand. It communicates a message to customers. It offers an experience. And, for better or for worse, customer will form an opinion about the company and the experience that they have online. If it's not a good one, it can tarnish a reputation for even a company that's been around 100 years. We've seen that happen.
Sure, it's how the consumer out there defines it. And I think one of the biggest problems marketing companies, businesses in their marketing strategy, their problem is they don't quite get the frame of reference of that end result buyer out there. They're saying it, but they're saying it in a way the buyer doesn't recognize what it is that they're talking about and what the true value of it is. And I'll give you a prime example. You want to do a project at home. So you go to the hardware store and you're going to buy a drill, which is going to cause a hole to happen. It's the hole that you're looking for in the wall that you want, and the drill is going to be the delivery system to get there. So most of the time, if you ask the question, are you buying the drill or the hole, 90% of everybody out there, even marketers, are going to say, we're selling the drill. Well, no, you're not. You're selling what the drill can do, which happens to be the hole. And the hole is the resolution to the problem that consumer is looking for. And in and of itself, that's what the message has to say. And I've seen that missed I don't know how many times.
Yeah, and for a lot of smaller companies, of course, who don't have the type of budget as a Fortune 500 company does, they can't afford to make, just big mistakes. They can't just try things at epic proportions and fail. A smaller company really has to get things right consistently. So our advice generally is to start with a very focused message, with a focused approach, rather than starting with interactive marketing and saying, well, if we have 100 products that we could sell, let's try to sell them all, and let's market to a very mass audience. That's generally a mistake. Instead, it's a better idea to focus in and ask yourself, well, what are our best products? What are our highest margin items that we can promote? And let's create a niche message aimed at a niche customer and market that way, because you'll find less competition under, let's say, a particular type of computer monitor than under computer monitors in general. So really going after, pushing a niche product on a very target market is much better than pushing out a very broad message to a broad audience, because then there's a lot of noise and it's very easy for you to get lost in a big sea of fish.
But see, this is why
it's a lot more expensive.
This is why people like yourself are so important and so critical in today's market today, because in today's market, there are people out there in business that don't have the wherewithal. They don't have that understanding, that other dimension, that step up and taking a look at things where you can look at it through different eyes and you can see what the business doesn't see. That's where it's critical. You've got a foundation, and in that foundation is where you make your decisions. But that special uniqueness about you may get lost unless you have guys like you walk in and say, let's take a look at this, because I didn't see it.
Well, it's very difficult to see the trees from the forest when you're right in the middle of the forest, right? And that's the biggest issue that every business owner has, is they're so close to their business. And if they're good at what they do, they've probably done it for a while. So it's very difficult for them to step outside of the business and look at the business from the perspective of a customer. It's hard to see what's wrong with your company when you're looking at it from the inside out.
Yeah.
But when you call in a company that or consultant whose business it is on a daily basis to improve other companies' business, they're actually not only bringing their own perspective to the table, they're also bringing the perspective to the table, an experience that they've learned from working with hundreds of others. So we've seen some dramatic increases in results from some of the simplest and actually inexpensive methods that we've implemented. And to our clients, they'll turn around and say, I can't believe I didn't see this on my own. This seems such common sense. Why did we miss it? Well, because you're in the forest.
Thomas,
looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, let me hold you up. I hate to do this to you. The time went so fast I could keep you on here for an hour. Do you have a website we can find you at?
You bet. We're at www.aismedia.com.
Wonderful. Hey, Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. I've appreciated your time, and thank you.
Always a pleasure, Michael. Thank you.
Take care. Good night.
Good night.
I'm Michael Ray Dresser. You're listening to Thought-Provoking Talk on Dresser After Dark.